Well, here we have an Intex spa, inflatable spa. I picked this up off of Craigslist, used, and you know, you get what you get. Actually, I have to say, I've had it a couple of months, and it's been perfect. But since the cooler weather, I've noticed that it deflates overnight, and then during the day, it inflates again because of the temperature, and then at night it gets soft, and then during the day it's okay. But gradually over the course of a couple of days I have to add more air in it. But I did try a very simple repair kit. This did not work in any way, shape, manner, or form, and even though it specifically says in the directions, it does say vinyl. The vinyl didn't stick. I mean, the glue never even came close to sticking. All right, I used just a little bit of acetone, and I mean just a little bit of acetone on a terry cloth. I did spray a little bit of the Windex on it to cut it, and I'm just going to wipe the area down with the slightly damp terry cloth with damp with acetone, and I'm also going to wipe the two patches. Now the vinyl patches come with the spa, although there's no cement that comes with it. So you want to just make sure everything is clean as possible. All right. Okay, well, this has turned out to be a longer video than I thought. I adjusted this so I have what I think is the appropriate amount of resistance here, pressure I guess I should say, because I want to be able to fit these patches in. I want to be able to apply some pressure without it, to maintain its shape. So I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but I'm going to apply a little bit of the sealant here, and I'm going to spread it evenly on both pieces. Okay, well, I've applied the patch, I squeegeed out the extra, and I smeared it with my finger around the edges, and so we're going to see how this is going to hold up here. It seems to have done pretty well, and although it's not dry yet, this stuff sets up pretty quickly. This has only been maybe 5 minutes. Okay, so this is the second day. I was not able to get, yesterday I wasn't able to get the left side patch to seal. Turned out there were several holes, I think 3 in all, microscopic. 2 of them were microscopic. I couldn't even see them with glasses. The goop worked in the vinyl patch on the right side, but I couldn't get it to work on the left side. So today I purchased this from Aubuchon's, and I did use a vinyl patch, and I cleaned it again with acetone, and I am applying it. This has a 10-minute working time, and basically it says 24-hour cure time, which is kind of tough to do with this, because even though there is very, very little pressure, there's probably still half a psi pressure in this, and it fluctuates with temperature. It goes up and down, probably pretty significantly. It gets hard when the sun comes out, and it gets soft when the sun goes in. Well, this morning I woke up, and to my utter dismay, the pressure had gone down, so it was almost fully deflated, And you can see right there, it still leaks air. There it is. So clearly my leak patch did not work here, and that's probably just a function of I just can't, either I'm not patient enough or really this tub needs to be deflated. But this answers the question as to why it loses all of its pressure overnight. And here we are. Another small but significant leak. Okay, well, this Intex pool spa leak has taken a life onto its own. So clearly my patch did not work here. You can still see there's still some condensation leaking out of it. So I allowed the mattress pump to remove as much air as possible, and I applied the 3M vinyl adhesive to the seams where it was leaking. And it actually, I don't know if you can really tell, you shouldn't be able to tell, but I actually had to apply it several times because it sucked into the pores that were leaking. So I think it worked out pretty well. I'm trying to get well, anyways, you might not be able to see it, but anyhow, I'm just going to let this sit literally for 24 hours. Okay, and it's now been 24 hours since I applied the 3M vinyl and leather adhesive for outdoors, and the tub I left deflated for 24 hours, actually with a slight vacuum on it. I used a mattress pump, just a regular mattress pump to suck the air out of it, and it seems to have done a great job. Okay, as I had hoped, the silicone grease on the seals of the fill plug and on the inner surface of the seal plug. So the seal plug has a flange about the same size as this on the inside, and that's what actually creates the airtight seal. So you've got the the outside flange and the inside flange that pressed together on the vinyl wall, and there's a embossed ring molded into this area right here, and molded into this area right here. It turns out, I mean, it's actually a pretty nice design. So a little bit of silicone on that inside flange, the outside flange, and the core seal did it. There's absolutely no air leaking from around the fill plug. So I'll make this a long story short, which I guess at this point is really impossible. On this seam, some pinhole leaks developed, and again, you can see them right here, and then you can't actually see the other ones that were here, and then under this patch as well. So I thinking I was just going to buy a vinyl patch kit. The glue that comes with your typical air mattress vinyl patch kit didn't stick to this. I used some Goop brand sealant that I've had good luck before using it on windows on my RV. It seems to be relatively UV resistant. and put a patch in. This patch held, but I couldn't get it for whatever reason, probably because of this bump here. Couldn't get it to seal on this for several days. So I went down to Aubuchon's and I tried this 3M vinyl and leather outdoor adhesive. Put a patch on that, and that didn't stick. And I guess the reason is, I'm going to say the reason is that the inside of this patch is just not roughed up enough. But it didn't seal. So anyways, I just decided to apply it right to the outside. I deflated this. I put a vacuum on it, a slight vacuum on it with a mattress pump. I applied the sealant and the 3M sealant, let it sit 24 hours, and it worked. It worked actually beautifully. This repair, this came out just, you know, exactly. You can just barely see it. Well, it didn't work. Here's the goop patch. And so I filled this up so it's exactly in the middle of the green on the pressure gauge, and it's pretty hard. And it's been sitting, I don't know, since about 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 12 o'clock, so 4 hours. I decided just for ha-has to take a look at it one more time, and there you go. Well, I decided to start all over. I removed the 2 patches that I had put here, and to cover up 3 pinhole leaks here and a pinhole leak here. Because after I had a nice repair here using 3M vinyl and leather adhesive for outdoors. Worked well, but my patch here started to leak after I inflated it to its maximum pressure, and I decided, well, I gotta take it all off. And while removing this patch, I had to peel back a little bit of the adhesive, so I just took all of it off. So, to make a long story short, I'm going to show you how to use the 3M adhesive to patch this. And I know this patch works very well because the patch that I used right here, this was actually a pretty large leak right in the seam where this is seam welded. There's a large leak right there, right where that hole is. And it worked perfectly. So I'm going to show you the technique that worked well to patch this Intex 72-inch spa. So first thing to do is to get it to a nice place where you can work on it. I wasn't able to fix anything with water in it, so I had to drain it. And then I decided to move it into the house because the weather outside wasn't that nice. So I'm also going to use a mattress pump, and I'm going to evacuate. I'm going to suck out the air in this thing. I want to create a negative air pressure within it. And the reason is I want some type of vacuum inside the hot tub is so the 3M adhesive kind of sucks into the holes and kind of pulls, so it's going to pull the adhesive into it, and it's going to block the holes. So this process takes a while, at least 24 hours, because that's the cure time for the adhesive. And so anyways, I'll show you in stages how it's done. So first thing first is we're going to vacuum this thing down, suck this thing down to it's got a vacuum in it. And we'll start that just by turning this pump on. And then we'll wait for that to do its thing. Okay, so this is now done. We've sucked the air out of it, for lack of a better way of putting it. And you can test that by pressing the valve in. Hear that? That's air rushing into it, so we know it's under vacuum. And so we're going to position the seam to the way we need it to sort of look. I might need to do this with two hands because you're going to be putting on the adhesive and keeping in mind that this is going to stretch back out to its shape. You don't want a weird shape here. See that wrinkle? We got to get rid of that wrinkle. Okay, so now I'm going to use the adhesive and I'm going to put it down on the seam, and I'm going to use a brush to smooth it out and make it look nice and uniform. And this is just a Crayola paintbrush. I picked up a set of these for my kids, and again, this sealant gives you, it says 10 minutes working time, and I have to admit it was much longer than the goop working time, which really worked out to be seconds. But this, I was able to, as you can see, smooth it out fairly well. And now I'm going to put a little bit more on there, make it a little bit thicker. Okay, so I applied the sealant, a couple layers of it, and it seems to have skinned over a little bit. You know, it says 1 hour to skin over, 10 minutes working time, and 24 hour to be fully cured. So this is it. So again, I applied it a couple of times, and it seems to have sucked itself into the holes. And now I guess I'm just going to let it sit here overnight, and tomorrow, after 24 hours, we'll inflate it and give it another test. Well, I'm happy to say it's been 48 hours and the Intex Spa Repair has worked. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, right there. No more leak. And right here, no more leak and no patches, and even the cat complaining. Actually, she's saying she's happy. So, well, she'll be happy to get this thing out of her living room, that's for sure. So it's been 48 hours, and the 3M vinyl adhesive for outdoors has worked. It is absolutely rock hard. It's 2/3 in the green on the pressure gauge, and it's stayed there. It stayed there for the last 2 days. So this is it. The end of this saga. Again, thanks for watching.